what I think is going to be so challenging for so many leaders that I work with is yet there's so many expectations for results on them. So it's almost like we're expecting them to go a little bit, in an almost unnatural way. I'm a big baseball fan, and I'm a big baseball fan. And there was a famous pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. I'm here in Atlanta, named Greg Maddux, Hall of Fame pitcher. He's got 4 Cy Youngs, and he was once asked, "What's the difference between a good pitcher and a great pitcher?" And he said, "Good pitchers, when they get into trouble, they throw harder. Great pitchers, when they get into trouble, they throw softer."
Interesting.
Which I think was really interesting because it's so unnatural. It's like, I'm in trouble, so now I'm going to throw a 75-mile-an-hour pitch curveball. Why would I do that? I'm struggling here. But that throws people off, or in this case, it helps them kind of reset versus doing the same thing harder. I'm using that analogy because I'd love to get your thoughts on the leaders that are feeling really, really in trouble. They're feeling like there's a lot of results. I feel like I got to hold on to the steering wheel harder, or got to get in there and do the work because there's so much pressure. And yet what you're really telling us is the most successful ones learn to throw softer. How can we make that shift? Any thoughts?
I think a key is to start with yourself, and to start with sort of self-awareness. When you get into those tense moments like you're just describing, Brandon, about like they're feeling the pressure to get the quarterly results looking great. If you can become more of a competent at managing your emotions, which starts with being aware of them, that's going to go a long ways to being able to provide these great workplace environment characteristics like the trust, the psychological safety. So I would say start with your own kind of self-awareness, and then in these days, especially self-compassion. Acknowledge when you're hurting and you need to you might need a time with a therapist. You might just need a hug from your partner. But to be willing to be vulnerable and to sort of take care of yourself first so that you can take care of others. It's that old airline thing. You put your mask on before you put your kids' masks on, the oxygen drops. So that I would say that's a really important piece of the puzzle.
Welding together practical insights and powerful conversations to forge world-class leaders. This is the Leadership Foundry Podcast.